An aged servant with the bearing of a veteran approaches the two of you. In a precise movement, he places the untouched cup of cold recaf in front of the Lord Inquisitor with a new one, slightly steaming. Heinrich nods silently at Calcazar, who responds by ever so slightly bowing his head. I am barred from entering, and now I am summoned here like a servant, appalling weight. Last time you congratulated me on my rise to power. Now I'm here to return the favor. Hospitality is not the Inquisition's forte. No, I'm told you have business with me. I value your directness. It will save us much time. Yes, there is something you must do. It is time for you to play your part to save the Koronus Expanse. I would not disturb your esteemed personage for anything less. He notices Argenta and inclines his head with a dignified air. Sister. The Battle Sister's eyes gleam as the Lord Inquisitor addresses her. May your path be blessed. It is gratifying to see that the trails endured by the Expanse have failed to extinguish the flame of your fortitude. Calcazar gives your retinue a cursory glance until his gaze rests on Marzai. Incendia has allowed a Xenos of the most dangerous variety to roam freely on footfall. The esteemed Corda has frankly surprising amount of respect for the privileges bestowed by her warrant. I rather think the monkey fears what may befall her should she try to get rid of me. The Drakari stares baldly at Calcazar with no deference whatsoever. Perhaps he has no inkling of who he is talking to. Corda's dead. This is interesting. Corda's dead. Unless he doesn't know? Did we killed her. I have no competitors whatsoever in the rogue trader department. We killed her. Huh. A death cultist and the rogue trader's personal bodyguard. The Lord Inquisitor gazes at Cabela intently. I'm curious, do you still adhere firmly to your cult's dogma, or has your loyalty to your mistress outgrown your faith? My loyalty to the Domin stems from the Undying One's will, such as the thread of his blade, until his whisper bids to spin a different one. Cabela responds with calm assurance. One of your acolytes, Emelina, accused you of cooperating with the Xenos. I would remind you that the particularities of the Inquisition's work lie far beyond a rogue trader's purview. Given the circumstances, yes, acolyte Lichtenhart's words are true. It's been several years since I established contact with the Drakari. They informed me of upcoming raids, and I thwarted them. I kept the Expanse safe while the Xenos were absorbed in their internal squabbles, which are of little interest to me. Marzai tilts his head slightly to the side, eyeing Calcazar appraisingly. However, the Drakari is in no hurry to speak his thoughts aloud. Actually, that's why I like bringing Marzai for stuff like this. Because, like, in my head, the role-playing aspect side of it is that Tess has brought him here to kind of sniff out the lies. And the things that Calcazar is saying, like, do they make sense? Do they not make sense? Based off of what he knows and what he experienced in Commorragh. And Calcazar doesn't necessarily understand how high up Marzai is necessarily, like who he really is. Like, he just sees another Xenos. It's one of his flaws, I'd say, is because he doesn't bother to get to know the people he's working with, such as the Drakari, because that's against what he believes in some ways. He doesn't know who Marzai is, what we went through in Commorragh, for instance. So you can kind of use Marzai as this kind of, hey, just stand there and listen and look pretty, and then go back to the ship and have an in-depth discussion about what's true, what's not true. And then you'll, of course, have to sniff out, like, Marzai's lies from that, too, because those will happen. But I like that role-playing aspect. I like that the game gives you that. Now, you can have killed Marzai and Earliet, or just never bring them with you, and then you wouldn't have this. Which would then make for your rogue trader two entirely different experiences. So this is where the role-playing in especially a game like this becomes very fun to me. And this is a lot of stuff that normally happens in my head. So, like, as I was reading Marzai's line, I was also then envisioning that whole, like, back to the ship, having the debriefing and everything. And it's pretty cool when you start to break it down that way. At least for me, that's what makes these games so fun. Strictly speaking, one might regard my actions in this situation as unorthodox at the very least. In reality, however, they're undoubtedly beneficial. Acolyte Lichtenhart has demonstrated her inability to surmount the bounds of convention, and had she been in my position, the Expanse would have likely already fallen under the blows of present crisis. Fortunately for you, she is not, and the Drakari, drained by their power struggles and bereft of their best raiders, can do nothing more than run from my fleets. Heinrich, I have to say I am disappointed by how easily information pertaining to the Expanse's security reaches the ears of those who should not be privy to it. This will be noted in your record. Would you care to put my concern to rest and tell me that Emelina is not out there running amok around my sector and continuing to sow your unrest? In response to Calcazar's question, Heinrich's eyes narrow, smoldering with anger. Emelina is dead by my hand. Indeed. Well, I hope I can continue to trust you to know when a useful resource is finally exhausted and must be disposed of. Your ladyship, I hope it goes without saying that I would appreciate you not spreading dangerous and misleading rumors going forward and keeping the content of this conversation private. Given the current state of affairs, I would have to treat such actions as subversive, so I thank you in advance for your considerate silence. Are you aware the changes Incendia has wrought footfall? Naturally. Her ladyship has done me an invaluable service by taking on the task of instilling order on the station, though her style of leadership seems unnecessarily brutal to me. On the whole, her actions have not exceeded the bounds I set. I put an end to her dictatorship. The Lord Inquisitor does not appear aggrieved at the news. As I understand, this was a private confrontation between two rogue traders, yes? As such, I hope your house will reach a reconciliation with her ladyship's heir. You've not hindered my plans. Lady Incendia purged footfall sufficiently that I was not distracted by the need to pacify it. What was the dispute between you and Galagos? His lordship deemed it more important to show off his stubbornness than to safeguard the interest of the Expanse. Stupidity of the most burdensome kind. But my sources inform me that he nevertheless has joined my efforts against the Xenos, so I decided to stay any sanctions for a time. Did you even try? Why do you think he acted that way? His lordship has long displayed the susceptibility to corrupting ideas. His loss of interest in managing his protectorate and his appetite for violence drew my notice some time ago. After a moment's hesitation, he adds, the only question that remains unanswered is how many agents of the Arch Enemy have infiltrated his entourage. Well, he's dead. Earlier than planned, but that is all to the good. On behalf of the Inquisition, I hereby inform you that your action will not be considered an attack on the privileges of a rogue trader. I'd like you to try to slap Tess with anything like that, because it won't go well for you. I escaped from Komorig. No, what is the current situation? The Cult of the Final Dawn and the Drakari Raiders are vying with each other to see who can cause us the greatest turmoil. I have mobilized all forces I can to repel the attacks, which is why we are still alive. Combined militia brigades are hunting for Xenos, and guarding convoys and expeditionary platoons under my command are crushing the heretic rebellions. The situation is unstable, but I will not pretend that I was prepared for this crisis. However, we have not lost our footing yet. Why has the Cult of the Final Dawn become more active? The warp is raging. This baleful sign always portends change and crisis beget desperation. The most fertile ground for heresy. I believe the Arch Enemy's servants think their time has come, or perhaps this day was marked in their profane scripture as the date of the end of existence. I will not trouble myself with further attempts to make sense of their blasphemous doctrine. They are bent on destroying us all, and so they must be destroyed. But you must have... No. What has prompted the Drakari to act so brazenly, Marzai? Prisoner interrogations indicate that a relatively major political upheaval has taken place in Komorig. The Cabal of the Reaving Tempest has lost its grip on authority and become a target for enemy rivals. Many vassals and members of the Cabal decided that fleeing to real space was preferable to waiting in Komorig to be killed. Intriguing news about the fate of my Cabal, more so than expected. Like, he has, like, that's the funny thing, right? Like, he knows about the Reaving Tempest, but he has no idea who this is. I love that. I wish I could tell you how much I loved that. What makes you think you're capable of commanding the whole sector? Do you see a better candidate for the job? The Lord Inquisitor closes his eyes warily for a moment. I may no longer be the first flush of youth, but believe me when I say that there are many things I would much rather be doing than playing constable to the Koronus Expanse. But alas, every ruler in our sector chooses to confine their concern to the well-being of their own holdings, whereas I alone must take care of it all. So you mobilized all forces, but not House von Valencius? Are you not standing before me now? While your status remains unclear, I prefer not to requisition the resources of the von Valencius Protectorate. Your people dealt with Eurolon the Cruel's agents and the Xenos raids, and that was enough for me. But now is the time to add your might to the talents to the scales. So what's your plan? The glance tossed you was like a shot from an auto pistol at point-blank range. If such a plan were to exist, information about it would be of the utmost secrecy. I suggest you focus on the current strategy of putting out each fire as you encounter it. I see no need to get bogged down. Okay, what help do you want from me? Frosher, if you please. The Inquisitor nods imperiously at the servant, who draws some kind of remote control from his pocket. All sounds whose source are more than 3 meters away fade to nothing. To my chagrin, the ability to be in 2 places at once does not number among my talents. That is why I wish for you to serve in my stead. I place such trust in very few people, you understand. You will feel what it is to walk in my shoes and attempt to compel a gaggle of quarrelsome blockheads to work together. You will reconquer Euphrates II for me. The Inquisitor gestures to the servants and the silencing field disperser. Frosher, another recaf. This one has gone cold. How many times are we going to refill this man's recaf? Abelard stiffs a grunt of displeasure, his mutter pitched for your ears only. You will reconquer Euphrates II for me. The esteemed Lord Inquisitor has done away with all pretense and politeness now. His order no longer comes with the veneer of a request. Is he your valet or another Inquisition assassin? Why can't both be true? Frosher has been a member of my retinue for 50 Terran years, and the person in my entourage who comes closest to being my confidant. Something akin to a warm smile touches the Inquisitor's lips. We've had cause to be involved in many incidents whose reports have since been marked with a seal of silence. Frosher nods deferentially, and on his aged, jowled face appears an expression caught between eternal loyalty, motherly affection, and religious devotion. Tell me more. It's a sacred world of the Adeptus Mechanicus, off limits to lay people. I'm one of the few who do not worship the Omnissiah to have set foot on the surface, or rather, I was. Now it's crawling with unbelievers. The despicable word bearers attacked and captured Euphrates II, and the cult of the Final Dawn has brought a horde of heretics to the planet. I sent my troops to aid the explorator forces laying siege to the world, but a rift occurred among the commanders. I need an authoritative general, and you are perfect for the role. My confidence is not misplaced, I trust. What matter first brought you there? Out of interest. Utterly transparent attempt to learn secret intelligence. I offer to make you my general, and you try to pump me for information. Poorly done. What? I'm literally wanting to know why you were brought there. Like, I deserve to know? World bearers went there themselves. They didn't just send their puppets. Clearly, the stakes for them are high enough. Eurolon the Cruel has stirred his profane self to make a personal appearance on Euphrates II. Conrad Voigtveer, incidentally, is also there. I hear you two have unfinished business. Him I will generously leave to you. When you are finished with him, you may simply dispose of his mortal remains. No need to surrender them to the Inquisition for an inquest. Consider it my gift. What do they want with Euphrates? And the reason behind their machinations would be pure speculation at this point. Bring me prisoners to interrogate, and perhaps we'll gain some much-needed insight. What forces do we have in place, and what is this rift that's occurred? Explorator Fleet Divine Cognizance 78-21 recalled its most combat-ready unit to retake the world. They were supported by my most powerful strike fleet and group of deadlier allies. I dispatched a pack of space wolves to hunt down the transgressor. Unfortunately, the leaders have failed to find a common language. The esteemed Thorvald is at odds with the conclave of Mechanicus battle congregation, and the Omnissiah's servants find Thorvald's strident nature off-putting. Either group is fond of militant Sibylic, who commands my forces. We're not fond to be precise. The esteemed militant perished along with his ship a week ago when his noble allies failed to support his offense. How'd you manage to enlist the aid of angels? I must remind you that I am still the Lord Inquisitor of the Koronus Expanse, not merely some, what do you always say, Frosher? Some grok-bothering prick of certain rogue traders. If certain rogue traders at time allow themselves to speak to me in an overly willful manner, that should not give you cause to doubt my authority. It's clear. The situation is clear. You will be given details when you arrive. Okay. And to what do I owe such an honor? And to whom else should I entrust this mission? No need to feign ignorance, Von Valencius. We both know the shortcomings of the other candidates for this position. At present in the Expanse, there are 2 people with the perspective and steady hand required to control the situation, and they're both standing in this room. So if you will, dispense with the humble rogue trader act and to win this war for me. All right, I'll smash the heretics. Never doubted you. This is interesting. Calcazar nods at the paper that his servant has deferentially delivered to the table. This document attests to the extraordinary powers you now have at your disposal. I'm counting on your success. Does he have anything else? Okay. So, War Council. We're going...
Victory awaits.
We're going to... Wait, hold on. Also, I have remembered now. Yeah, they did. They upgraded. So Heinrich does look more... This update was a blessing. This update was such a blessing. Hold on. Okay. They did. They updated Heinrich's model a bit, so he looks more like Heinrich in the portrait. And I believe Abelard... I want to say Argenta also got updated a bit. And then I think Cabela, and then I think that there might have been one other person. Tess is still gorgeous in Tess. There's no need. There's no need to doubt that. Tess is still perfect. But wow, that looks good. I was just kind of surprised because like I wasn't used to Abelard looking, I don't know why, but I was kind of like caught off guard before. But yeah, so that is handled. So this, I think there's like some kind of point of no return for this act. And I don't know if this is it, but I feel like there's still so much we haven't done yet. With like Marzai and oh my goodness, collect all that. Yes, please. We'll see though. We'll see what this does. Like I think that there's like, I know that there's another scene with Marzai and I don't know if some of that is act 5. But I feel like I heard Act 5 was pretty much just the end, kind of like Act 6 in Wrath is just like end game. It really, you don't do much outside of like the end. There's like personal stories and stuff. So we'll see what happens now. Because we did pop around the map quite a bit to see if anything would trigger and nothing did. So I'm pretty confident that at this point, there's nothing more we can do like up to the meeting with Calcazar, that is. So, let's see. Forces, okay. So.
Lord Captain?
No.
Lord Captain.
I actually want to see, do you have anything to say after your meeting?
What can I do for you?
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. Okay, so let's do... Wait, end dialogue. Let's do a big save here, and then we're gonna start hopping around the map again. Where am I going? What is the meaning of this? It's fine. It's so fine. This will be great. So we need... Okay. So we're gonna take this nice and slow to give everybody time. Yes. There. Lord Captain, your presence is required by members of your retinue, and I believe they will not accept refusal. Who's fighting this time? That's literally the first thing that comes to my mind. Tessera's like, who? Who? Is the chair gonna turn? Is it as the chair turns with Tessera von Valencius again? I love that series. Every time her chair turns, I get so excited. Big diss. Oh no, I know what this is. No, oh no. Oh, we have to pick. It's time. Oh no. I thought we had longer. Why is Earliette here? I did not think we hadn't even. Oh my god. A minute of your time, Tessera. Heinrich's expression is as stoic as usual, but there is a disquiet in his darkened eyes. It's no secret to me or the crew that your relations with members of your closest circle are complicated. I said nothing expecting to resolve this controversy, but everything has its limit. If you don't mind, I'd like it if you clarified where you and I stand. No more uncertainty. Heinrich folds his If the Lord Captain wishes to commit to a relationship with someone else, I won't stand in her way. He swallows with difficulty and his expression darkens. But nor do I intend to be part of an idle dalliance. Marzai examines you intently. I've had enough of all this fussing. Why have you still not made it clear to your servants? Put them in their place, or I will save my time and energy for someone who appreciates them. I do not understand, Ellentalk. I never flirted with you. I didn't think I did. Oh my god, what is going on? You know what this is? This is classic, like, what is it? Like some games where you get like ninja manced. The Earliette romance, 100% ninja mance. I was just trying to be nice. I didn't mean it. It wasn't like that. I was just trying to be nice. Must I truly partake in such a base ritual? The subtlety of our bond is not something that can be put into words, and certainly not something that demands proof or explanation. She brings her hands together in an elaborate gesture and turns away, but you can see that she is still warily observing your reactions. Oh no. Oh no. Time to pick. Heinrich or Marzai? Oh no. All right. Marzai it is. Stay with me. The rest, they don't matter. Oh my god, that line is so cheesy though. That line is cheesy. Owlcat, can we I like the Heinrich one. I need you and no one else, but this one is a little cheesy. Marzai's eyes narrow in satisfaction. I had no doubts about what I would hear. Heinrich's face instantly turns to stone as if there was never any emotion on it to begin with. Thank you for clarifying. If I may take my leave. Earliette nods in understanding. I accept your answer, Ellentalk. Follow the call of your soul, and it will one day shine brighter than any star. I didn't think we were... So what... Okay, now I gotta know. Because we committed to the crazy Drakari. Yes, we did. We 100% that. Just so what happens if I talk to him now? Is he not gonna talk to me?
To what do I owe this visit?
Okay. So we are a little, I mean, happy but not happy. Like, I feel like now it's just over.
Rogue trader.
Okay.
Then go.
So, the one thing I do appreciate about this, I'm glad we have a save beforehand though, so in case I ever personally want to come back and do it again. Actually, can I... Hold on. Can you... This is... I love these snapshots of like where it is. I wish you could like rename saves now. So what I'm going to quickly do is while we're all chatting about something, I'm going to quickly just do another save and just save before relationship pick. So then that way I personally can go back at any time if I would like to. I love that we actually saved for once at the most opportune time. But the one thing I really appreciate about this game, and I think this is just more an Owlcat thing in general, because all three of the games that I played have this, is you have this like you need to pick moment, but it adds tension to the fact that you have flirted with multiple people, you have played the field with multiple people, and now you have to decide. But I'm going to save this as, and then we're going to save as pre-picking relationship. That ship, not shup. I do really appreciate though that it's like a one and done. So you do it and it's done. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to like kind of lengthen how painful this is or anything like that. Like you've made your choice and you can headcanon this however you want now. Heinrich could be sulking you know, all the time, but he is a professional till the bitter end, so he'll never tell you.
What can I do for you?
Okay. So that's how you know that we were right there. So I do think that Owlcat handles this well. Because I think that I dislike being able to flirt with everybody and then having no consequence of some kind to having flirted with everybody. But then I hate it when the consequence is a little too much. I don't know if that makes it. Like, I think that this is a good balance. Like, you have this tense conversation, everybody kind of gets it out of their system, and then you get back to work. So I think overall, this balance is something that I hope Owlcat keeps. And I also do like it, though, that they are making it very clear when you're locking in order to help you, but kind of like give you the time to flirt with everybody. This is a very generous lock-in point, though. Like, you're almost done, and so you've been able to play the field up until this point, which for a game of this length, most people won't play it more than once, maybe 2 or 3 times. So being able to flirt with everybody and take your time at picking and everything just seems top tier to me. All right, warp travel. Let's see. Okay. Trust in the navigator's talents. Good. Now this, where are we going? All the way over there. Okay, we'll go here. Nothing. And then here. I'm going... Oh, how do I get there? Huh. I wonder if here will connect me, because it looks like it should, but it didn't before. Let's see what this does. Purified with fire. Love a good fire purification. Have we... If I go here again, I just want to quickly see if this will let me No, but let's do this. Okay. Let's make it dangerous. Is this silly? Maybe. Maybe. Please don't do... Okay. No, I don't want to fight. It's fine. Should I have drained all my points on that? Maybe.